Good morning, Pro Readiness Trader, coming back at you today with the Don't Make Me Think strategy. Okay, I guess I can go ahead and start with a recap. Yesterday we traded Bitcoins, um, and I want to mention this. This is actually going down now to about, it's in the minus. We're already in the market. Let's just hope it doesn't kick us out because it's been as high as $3,000. Yesterday it was high as went up to almost like $5,000. Um, I should have gotten out that market at 5,000 and then had cushion. And when the market started to go against me, it was under $1,000. So I decided to pull out of this trade. And so basically, um, I kind of lost 1,000 on that one. That's on me. I should have taken the rations at 5,000, let it come back down, got back in it in the position that it needed to be. So that's what we're going to do also, starting now. And of course, this is about taking a strategy. And as a pro readiness trader, you have to know how to tweak your settings. And what I've done today is, if you look right here, I've taken and put closer stop losses since I know that when we get in this market, we seem to be getting in on what is called a bounce. See that? That's the bounce. And most of the time, it's not actually coming near our stop loss. So that tells me that we need to go ahead, and when we get up in here in this area right here, close as possible, I will put alert somewhere about right here. So right now we got in the market at 707.15. We have a take profit at 727.90, and our stop loss is at 69.890. Okay, and right now, look, you can see that's at $2,000, and this is look how low we are. We need to get way up here, so we could be talking about $10,000, But however, if we start to get into like maybe 5,000 again or whatever, I may go ahead and get out of here. But it's what time is it right now? It's about 5, 6 o'clock. The market's technically not even open right now. American U.S. markets. Um, that may also give us the boost we need, so we need to be prepared for that as well. Okay, moving right along, I'm also in what is called micro crude oil. We got into this morning. It's a nice little position. We got in our market right now. It's right here. It's not near close where we need to get in. This is a buy. So we're going to buy at 49.01. We have a stop loss again. I put this stop loss real close because I'm noticing we're having bounces. It's respecting our art entry. It's respecting the don't make me think strategy. That's something you need to know about. As you become more of a trader, you get what is called a train eye. So you're able to see these setups. A lot of times you can see setups in these patterns that you see in. Like for instance, right here, this could possibly turn into a double bottom. I can see, and this is what you're not seeing, is a head and shoulder pattern. There's the head, there's the shoulder, and the other one's created. What does that mean? Technically, this market may be going down, right? Maybe this was our play right here coming to this. We don't know yet, but let's just be optimistic about it. Okay, so we're getting in at 49.01. Stop losses at 48.84. Take profits at 49.55. So we're not in that market yet. Okay, so that's two markets that I've talked about. Bitcoin, and we talked about this one that I'm looking at actually is a micro gold. I'm sorry, micro gold, not crude oil. I think we have a crude oil. No, this is also micro gold. Um, so this is, let's see, I want to make sure um, we're in the right thing I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. So, you know what? This is micro crude oil as well, but this is a March market with the M you see right here that says March. This this market right here, it also says M6. So I don't know why we have Two markets going. Okay. Oh, there it is. It's in the 15 minutes. So notice I see now. Look at it. So I think what we have going on here is it could be we could be in two markets. I must have did this, double down on this. You see that? So it's possible that we're in two markets at one time. It's okay, they're both set at the same perimeters, and so, but the problem is, I think, is that we're purchasing a total of four stocks, four lots, and if our budget cannot handle that, then that's not no good. We would probably want to close out while we're in the profit on one of them. But I'm going to go ahead and stay and, maybe close out of one of them or maybe let them both hit or whatever and just see how it goes. Okay? But that's not normally what we do because, for one, we need to, what I said, trade like the money that you normally have, and this is a simulator account. So we don't want to get in the idea of trading like we have this kind of money. Well, some of us may have this kind of money. Some of us may want to come into the market like this. What are some of the things that I may have mentioned that? Oh yeah, this is one thing I wanted to say. Yesterday I talked about micro gold closing out and being out by 4 o'clock, and then coming back in at 5 o'clock. But then I also said that this is a world market. It's not like the U.S. markets where the U.S. markets may close or whatever and then open back up tomorrow. And this is the beauty about Bitcoins and gold, that you can be in it all through the night. Technically, that's 100% right. But what I didn't mention to you is because I'm only trying to make 1 minute on a lot of updates on these trades, and that's one of the reasons why I don't mention everything crammed in one session. Particularly, this platform that we're using is called TraderVate. See it right there? Well, every broker has their own rules, and TraderVate's rules is it doesn't matter that the fact that the market's open all day. It has this rule where markets that run 24/7, their system likes to shut down at 4 o'clock, right, for 1 hour. So it will kick you out of your position, and that's just some of the rules. So you have to know that this trader, and most other ones do the same. TradeStation, I don't know what Robinhood and all them do as well, but a lot of them just they have these rules that because this is micro. Now, if you had let's say the actual contract of this micro gold, maybe what, $20,000. So let's say if you had 100,000 in here or whatever, technically you should not be getting kicked out because you have enough money to hold the contract, period. But when you're in the micro, which you see right here, micro, E-mini micro, they have rules because you're only buying a fraction percentage of that contract and you have all this beautiful leverage. And so that's why you have to know how to trade. It's almost like playing basketball, but then, or football, and then you got all these new rules that come in. The rule says that when they flip the coin now, both teams have to score. Okay, so once you know the rules of the game, you know how to work around and in between all this stuff. Like for instance, the rule is now I'm not actually supposed to be buying opposite. Like say if the market's going up and I put in two contracts and then you say, oh, it's going down. So you buy a market going down now to offset. They have rules you can't do that. What you have to do is if it's going up, you bought your contract for two and it's going against you, say, and now I want to kind of get back in while it's going down, buy three. See, one contract is two, one is three, and that's how you do those. Rules of the game for ratings traders are going to get you there. These are little secrets. You can give you the knowledge, but you also need the wisdom in this. Think of knowledge as the picture, wisdom as the picture frame. And that's what I want to be able to teach you. And good part about being a trader with me is you have me. Those who know me know me. So why I don't have a lot of students, this will be good for you to be able to ask all the questions. I love questions. I love to answer these questions. Okay, so with that being said, and this is going to be a long, drawn out information. Like I said, it's early in the morning, and I wanted to get over. I believe I did talk about Bitcoin. Oh, look here. I believe we are in Bitcoin. Could be the actual play that we're in now, and we're actually not in gold yet. Okay, so if we're not in gold yet, it is possible that I could close out of one of these, which I will do. Now let's do that. How about this? Close out of this one. You hear that? It said order canceled. But however, when we go over to here, we should still see an order. And I don't know why we don't. Okay, we see the Bitcoin. Yeah, we see the Bitcoin, but I don't see why we don't see the that one. Okay, no worries. What happens? I may have uh, this may just be a what is called a chart, and well, that looks like a chart. So we have two charts. So what we can do is close out of that chart, and we still should have one more. There it is. We'll come back over here. Let's just see if we can re-enter that. Okay, let's see. Okay, what was our art entry? Let's do this. So you can see how we actually do this. I go to advance. Okay, we have the symbol. That's the goal. This was a buy. We're going to buy two. We're going to change this. Or I think it was 4901. 4901 is our order entry. I like to do stop loss first, and sometimes I like to clear both of these because sometimes the numbers they have a tendency to trickle and trade switch. It's very important whatever you do. Make sure your order entries. I'm pointing at the screen, but I'm pointing right here. Make sure these entries are 100% correct. Off a millisecond too far off can hurt you. Okay, so the stop loss is 48.84. We got that. It's going to automatically put your decimal points. See it? So you don't have to worry about that. I just, enter the number. 49.55 is our take profit. Okay, now we're going to have it for the day. We're in the hour. We're not in the weeks or the months. And if you want to be a swing trader and hold your trades, I probably will when I turn, 70, 75 years old, and these eyes are too get tired of looking at a screen, and I just want to take a vacation and hang out on the boat or whatever, and just check my trades once a month. I'll do that. But right now, I want to get money within these hours. So by the time you wait for a 2 weeks or a 1 month trade in between that market going up like this, I'm making money here, going down, going up, going on. So in between, you made 20,000 in what 6 months? Hooray! But guess what? I made 200,000 within that 6 months or more on the same trade you were getting. That's the beauty of intraday, which is called trading in the day trading within the 1 hour. That's why I love it. Okay, so then we just hit send. Okay, now we have the order. You can see we're right back at where it's supposed to be. Okay, but we're not actually in yet. Okay, so that's our two plays for the day. Bitcoin, which is right here, it's kind of down. It's charging. And then we have micro gold. Okay, if there's any other information that I need to cover, um, again, I'm gonna keep you trading. I may not trade tomorrow, uh, but if this market changes, if I get some information or something, I will get in this market. I will let you know. A lot of times when I'm showing you some of this information on my phone, I'm actually driving, so that's why you hear me talking and you don't see my face. I could be driving in the car, and that's the beauty about day trading. This job, I've made just travel from Florida back to another location, and just hit a trade within on my route $3,000. I've sat down and had a smoothie and maybe a boiled egg or something in the morning and made a quick little 300 or 400 bucks. You know, trading is a beautiful thing when you understand how to trade. You know, if you want someone that has these beautiful screens, they have these well set up people auditing their screens, these little fancy little trickery robots, and they hanging out at a yacht that they done rented, and then they done got an Airbnb, and they, showing these beautiful backgrounds where they're sitting here making all these trades and things like that, and riding these, renting these Lamborghinis. Go follow them, because there's thousands of those type of traders online. But if you want the riggedy, raw, uncut, keep it real, down to earth type of person, then you came to the right place. There's no bells and whistles, there's no fancy screens, there's just me talking. Sometimes learning about day trading is like watching paint dry. That's why I tell you the first lesson that I teach is these charts right here, because you got to get used to them. These are going to be your friend for life. And keep in mind, when I started doing charts, I actually drew them with coloring pencils. I gave these candles names. Now I've took all these calculators, scientific notations, Fibonacci calculations. This is what we had to use: rulers to draw trend lines on graph paper. If I had it, maybe next time I'll show you some. I kept some of my original scrolls, I call them, and then converted them over to the computer system, and then converted them over to a 90-day system so that you can learn and get a basic understanding. You know, you can give a man a fish and he can eat for one day, but if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And I have spent years, broke many computers, lost money, just to get to where I can control the money and hold the money that I have. A lot of people may say this is gambling. Oh, well, the difference between a gambler and a trader: a gambler gambles to take chances on making some money. A trader trades to try to hold on to the money he's already made. Like what we're seeing right now, $28,000, $2,800 right here. Should I close out of this? See, I've made the money. It's there. Look, it's at $3,000. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what examples of traders have to hold on to the money that they already made. So if this trading business was so easy, everybody would be into it. Everybody. You say 98 point something percent of people lose money, right? But just simply knowing the basics can bring you up to 30%. Simply understanding a strategy can bring you possibly up to 40%. And the 40% strategy, where does that leave you? The only difference between you and a professional trader, I make just as many good trades. You see this. It's just that I don't have a bank backing me, But I follow the banks. I follow their moves. I try to watch out for what they call dark pools. Something happening in England that can affect your trade here. But I've not once told you anything about gold, any news. I have everything set in my bots. When you learn the basics, I will also teach you how to use bots. I have bots to make your work simple. A lot of this work that I'm giving you takes weeks and weeks. I have designed it where you can trade multiple markets within a matter of seconds. That's the whole key. Being able to do your charting and your analogy very quick, right on the drop of a dime, and being able to make that split decision to get in these markets. So with that being said, I'm going to close out. Again, I strongly encourage you. We may have 10 more days, 15 more days of trading with me, keeping up with me, but I encourage you to go to my YouTube, because after this, we're going to continue to go live, and we're going to just put a basic count together. And you want to follow me, you can become a member and just follow the trades. If you don't want to think, don't make me think, then that's what it's for you to just get in and become a member. Membership, I think, was going to be $39 a month. So you can follow my trades and things like that, and, test it. Right now, you should be opening up some kind of account, looking at what I got, looking at my numbers, and just testing it. I challenge you to test these numbers. This is nothing that I'm doing. I don't have to do this. I can sit around on my own, make my own trades. But I want people to know, I'm tired of seeing these people running around here on YouTube talking about how fancy they are. No one's showing their account, right? And I find it odd that people who make more money teaching than they do trading. I don't want to be that kind of person. I didn't even want to do this because I wanted to show you the money. I wanted to be a trader that say, okay, become successful first. However, I'm just like you. I'm striving. I work every day. I'm a normal, everyday person, you know. But however, I have perfected and learned. It took a lot of losses to get me to where I am to now. And we can all come together. Because guess what? If I teach you how to be a pro readiness trader, I can call you, we can share, we can become a group. If you're trading over here with this gold, I can say, well, can you share your charts or tell me what you think? I can tell you what you think. Why? Because we have the same strategy. That's the whole key. We need to become pro readiness traders, a crew, a clique. We're a clique, pro readiness traders. And all of us together trading can be able to be successful. Peace out. Don't make me think. Pro readiness traders back at you.